So when it comes to trading, you've been exposed to all of the entry level gimmicks. We know that, okay? I was one of those victims. Way back in 2016, I was one of those victims. You know, send me a Bitcoin and I'll send you 1,000 back. If only that was true. Can you imagine how much money we would be sat on right now? Or the signals group, or the binary options, which was very, very fashionable. But then we quickly realized that we've been scammed. It's probably not going to work out for us. And we have a break. Then a lot of us come back to trading because we know there is something there for us. That's what happened to me, and that's what happened to many, many of you probably watching this video. Now, in today's video, I want to break down what I've learned over the last 7 years of trading, a full-time, 4 years, nearly 5 years, and obviously coaching people now for 2 years in our 10 Wealth Group mentorship program. And there's 3 areas that make trading the best possible way, journey, strategy, and the easiest way. All right. And those 3 things are: you must build a system. It must be because you're wanting freedom. And it must remain, or your trading strategy or your mind must remain calm. Systems, freedom, and calm. Now, if you think about it, if you can build anything around those 3 principles, it's going to be amazing. All right. It's going to be amazing. And I actually think the calm part is the one that's a game changer. So in this video, buckle up, just take some notes. I want to break down these 3 things. Again, you know me, this one's off the cuff. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about systems. When we come into trading, we do not follow a system. We just trade. And we might do that for a year, 2 years. I did that for like 3 years. We just trade. Oh, I think I've seen something. We look at some YouTube videos and, you know, the futures trader did this, and the Forex trader did this, and the crypto trader did this, and we've got the opening range trade and this, that. And we just try and figure it out, put pieces together, and we just keep losing and losing and losing and losing. That's normal. That's normal. But the whole time when we're doing this, what we're not understanding or realizing is that these individuals that we are watching, as you are watching me now, have systems in place for this to be effective. They have a system. And that took me a while to understand. And it only really hit me when I became full-time. And I went full-time and I said, well, I can't just go off the cuff. I need to create a system for me to go full-time. Otherwise, one day is going to be great, next day is going to be horrible, and I'm not going to know why. Now, trading at times, one day can be great and next day still can be horrible. But at least you will know why if you have a system. Maybe you went on tilt. Remember, you revenge trade. Maybe you traded on a Friday. Sometimes that I do not trade on a Friday. And sometimes if I'm here or I'm not at the house, I can find myself either taking a trade or wanting to trade. And it will go wrong because it's not part of my system. And my subconscious mindset knows I shouldn't be trading on a Friday. That's going to happen. It happens to the best of the best. I told my son he couldn't believe Messi or Ronaldo missed penalties because he thought, well, surely that doesn't happen to the best. It happens to everyone. So number 1 is system. Now, the way that I trade over the years, I've moved things around and I've come up with a way that I trade, and I've called it the precision stack. The precision stack system, the precision stack strategy, whatever you want to call it, but it's called the precision stack. And what that allows me to do is get all my eggs, ducks, chickens, whatever you want to call it, in a row, and one by one go through that before I get into a trade. Now, it could just be 3 points that you're looking for. Mine's 4 or 5 points that I'm looking for. It's not indicators. I don't need everything to line up. It's just what am I looking for? And that then tells me and tells my subconscious mind now, Fran, it's time to get into the trade because your triggers and your system has presented. And that is a precision stack. I look for higher term timeframes. I look for a candle formation. I look for a manipulation like a retest. Is there any other confluences there? I've got my risk management in play and I execute. It's a very, very simple way, but that's actually taken me years to nail down. And there will be added things along the way, of course, because you're always improving as a trader. So number 1 is you must have a system in place for you to be successful, because it's the only way you can measure data, and it's the only way you're going to truly believe and build the confidence and have the clarity and control and know that it actually works. So that's number 1. Number 2 is freedom. Now, we trade because we want the freedom. People say to me, oh, trading doesn't work. It's a scam. Does it really work? You can't make this much money, etc., etc. There are people that make hundreds of thousands a week. There are people that make hundreds a week. There are people that lose, and there are people that break even, depending on where you are in your journey. But what I can safely say is you can make trading a revenue, an income, and you can change your life. And it gives you the freedom. Now, when people talk about freedom, they say, well, they need so much money to be free. It depends how much your costs are. What I did when I went on this journey, I lowered my cost as low as I could, as low as I possibly could, so I'm not feeling, broke or unhappy. Still be able to do things for the family, still be able to do the things that I like. I like little luxuries, but lower it as much as possible. That then gave me the freedom. I wasn't attached to a 9 to 5. I wasn't attached to any crazy bills. I wasn't attached to any credit. I wasn't attached to anything. So that allowed me then to have freedom. I could then go and do as I wish. Now, freedom is, they call it the golden handcuffs, don't they? Freedom is hard to come by if you've already locked in and you've got crazy bills and you've gone and doing what the Joneses do and you've got 2 Teslas and you've got credit cards and you've got a mortgage you can't afford and you have to work 80 hours a week to stay in that job, to pay those things. You're in the golden handcuffs. You need to lower that and you need to get the freedom back. That's one thing for sure. But when it comes to trading, the reason they give you freedom is because you have no boss and you can trade where you want, wherever you want. Once you understand the craft and once you've got your systems in play. System creates freedom. But remember, freedom is only obtained and maintained via disciplined systems. You're never truly free because it's hard work to have freedom because you have to stay very, very disciplined. So when it comes to freedom, think of freedom as I need to lower my costs so I can then go and do the things that I want at the minimal amount, because then that's freedom. So you can do what you want when you want. Spend time with the family, spend time with the kids, spend time on your own, go for walks in the mountains, do whatever you want, what you want to do. That is freedom. And then number 3 on this was calm. Now, in my community, I speak about stress-free trading. Stress-free trading. And stress-free trading is a patient game. You can't get stress-free trading without a system. It's impossible because you're never going to know when to execute or when not to execute, or where to execute from, on what days to execute from. Now, stress-free trading is waiting for those higher probability trades to set up. They're never always going to be exactly the same, but the zones of where you're looking to trade from are going to be the same, because the higher institutions, the hedge funds, whoever it may be, the banks, whoever trades from these levels, they trade there a lot, and there's a reason they trade there, and that's where you're going to trade from. You are going to trade from these stress-free levels, and that's where the calm comes in, because what you don't want this to be a crazy dopamine hit or crazy excitement, or your stress levels here and stress levels there and stress levels middle. And then I've been there. I'll tell you a story. When I first got into this trading game, I followed a trader. His name was like Trades by Matt or something like that, or Trades by Alex. Can't remember. Alex Trades or something, I don't know, right? It wasn't the gurus you see now. They wasn't really around. And it was a simple Telegram group where they sent signals and you got in and out of room, and you paid $60 or £60 a month. It was a British guy. And we was on the way to get, I'll never forget, because my son's 8 now, we was on the way to Mother Care, which is one of the best mother baby shops ever in the UK, but it's not around no more. And we was on the way in driving, and we got there, and we was in a trade, and it went into 400, and it went straight back down and completely blow our account. And back then there was no prop firms, you was just putting your own money in. And it completely ruined the next 10 minutes of my life. Now, the quick thing is I quickly got a hold of myself and didn't want to ruin my wife's time of getting this brand new Quinny buggy at the time. Quinnies were the thing, right? But my stress was like this, it was like this, it was like this, it was like this. And actually I thought this can't be good for your health. So I actually took a break from that because I thought this can't be, and I went and learned myself. So what I'm saying is when it comes to calm, you want it to be stress-free. You want it to be very stoic. You hear me talk about stoicism quite a lot. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, these things. You need to, Socrates and all this stuff, you need to have a stoic mind when it comes to this. And there's plenty of things that you can read. I mean, read the Bible if you want a calm mind, but there's plenty of things that you can read as well to get that calm mind. And that's in my trading, how I keep it stress-free. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. And the reason it makes it stress-free and calm is because I'm going via my system. And when I don't go via my system, I only have myself to blame and take accountability there. And I even tell my group and my mentees when I'm coaching them, I've just blown this account. I shouldn't have taken that trade. I'm sometimes do it live with them. So I take accountability for that. Now I know that risk. I wouldn't do that on my normal accounts, but I know that risk on a prop firm. I know that risk. So I hope you find this valuable. If you need any help with anything like that, where you are at your training, whether you're a new trader or whether you're a trader that's struggling to get profitable, there is a link below. You can jump on a call with me, get involved. The worst thing that can happen, you can take some good advice from me and go and take that on your journey. So as always, follow the system, follow the freedom, and follow calmness. That's what you need in your trading.